Right now at 11 a.m., hundreds of people attended a celebration of life for Fishers teen Haley Busby. We're going to tell you how supporters are continuing to push for Haley's Law to help keep kids safe.
And we've got a sunny Friday in progress here. Going to be really pleasant. We're still got the updated timeline on the weekend rain.
Plus, a former Hamilton County Town Council member arrested in connection with a 33-year-old cold case murder. What investigators are now saying. Welcome to an early edition of 13 News at noon. We're on at 11 to make room for the Winter Olympics coming up a little later. Dustin Grove here with meteorologist Sean Ash. I want to know more about this rain coming in because it's a beautiful day.
Well, it is. And look, and I want to stress this, a large part of your weekend is going to be dry.
Okay.
There is going to be some rain. Most of it looks like it's going to be Saturday night and very early Sunday morning. So plenty of time to enjoy some outdoor activities here this weekend. Get outside this afternoon and enjoy, because there you go. Our camera network is showing off the sunshine that's over central Indiana, already in the lower 40s in some locations, and we're on our way to the low to mid 50s this afternoon. A little haze, that's from the air, just been kind of stagnant, and a lot of the pollutants are kind of gathering toward the ground, so you're going to notice that there's not a whole lot of wind right now. It will pick up a little bit from the south and southwest. So 41 here in Indy at this hour. We're going to jump into the lower and mid 50s to finish off this afternoon. And yes, we do believe there's going to be some rain over the weekend here, but you've got all kinds of time to enjoy. Right now we've got sunshine. As we look back to the west, this thing is just beginning to take shape here. If you've been following our forecast throughout the week, talked about the difference in the modeling. You know, it was south initially, then it kind of creeped up. Still looks like the rain will get into the central part of the state, mostly after sunset tomorrow, okay? But rain will be likely Saturday night. We'll let you know when that rain moves out. Much warmer days ahead next week. Taste of spring in the 7-day forecast.
All right. Forward to that, Sean. Thank you. Now to the latest on the story we have all been paying such close attention to. Hundreds of people gathered in Fishers last night to pay their respects to Haley Busby and her family. People showed up to her celebration of life in pink, that was her favorite color, and left with a better understanding of her as a person. Her family says she had a passion for journalism and described her as a leader who always navigated tough times with grace and strength. This service comes after investigators found her body in the Wayne National Forest in Perry County, Ohio, a month after she disappeared. Now her family wants to make sure her memory continues to live on.
The world is a sadder place without you, Haley, but it is not broken. You're still in our life. Your family will carry your legacy, your love in our hearts, your memories in our minds.
Right now, the Busby family is pushing to create Haley's Law to improve the process of finding missing children. 13 News is putting together a special report on the disappearance of Haley Busby, the impact on the community, and the push for Haley's Law. This report is going to look into the timeline as well, how police tracked down a suspect, how her family is also using the tragedy to drive real change at the State House, and how the Fishers community is remembering her. You can watch it tonight streaming at 8 p.m. on WTHR Plus, which is our streaming app, and you can download it for free on your Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV devices. Just search WTHR in your app store. Now to the case that's haunted a family for 33 years. Tony Bledsoe disappeared back in 1992. And now, with a second arrest just made, prosecutors say justice may finally be within reach. Bledsoe went missing on March 16th, 1992. He was just 24 years old. A month later, human remains were discovered in a ravine in Putnam County. But it wasn't until 2018 that DNA technology revealed it was Bledsoe. Now, fast forward to May of last year. An anonymous tip led to the arrest of another man, Thomas Anderson.
That tip came to the right guy because he happened to have knowledge of a recovery of remains in Putnam County. That was a completely separate case. But because of his independent knowledge of that case, he started to think that things matched up.
Tony Bledsoe's son provided this statement to 13 News. I'm at a loss for words. I'm happy but sad all at the same time. Nobody will ever understand what this feeling is like. Once again, thank you to all the men and women who put their own lives at risk this morning to catch the man who killed my father. Andy Emmert will make his first court appearance this afternoon in Hamilton County. After months of anger, violence, and frustration from ICE in Minnesota, we now know Immigration and Customs Enforcement is opening an administrative office in Carmel. City leaders confirm ICE will open those offices. The police chief tells us they'll be in a building near 96th and College, which is just north of the 31-465 interchange on the south side of Carmel. But that's about all they'll confirm. The why and the when, it's all unclear right now. And that's why Carmel's council president is voicing some frustration. Matthew Snyder says he needs more information.
The unfortunate reality is that it's created fear amongst many of our citizens. And whether that fear is based in reality or it's been kind of trumped up by just media coverage doesn't really matter to me, because fear is fear.
Snyder says the city has no control over whether ICE moves in. We reached out to the agency. A spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security declined comment on the office location, citing a rise in threats against officers. A statement says, in part, is it really news when a federal agency hires more personnel that they need more space? Thanks to the big beautiful bill, we have an additional 12,000 ICE officers and agents on the ground across the country. That's a 120% increase in our workforce. This afternoon, a former middle school track coach in Tipton County is facing child sex crime charges. 26-year-old Elijah Bogard is accused of possessing child sex abuse material. Bogard told police he used AI to create pornographic images of a student. Tipton Schools says Bogard was terminated after police contacted them. Bogard remains in the Madison County Jail. He's being held on $25,000 bond. Well, for weeks, it felt like winter just wasn't going anywhere. We had one of the biggest snowstorms in years, and now that those piles of snow are finally retreating, Indianapolis city leaders are sharing what went right in their response and what needs to be fixed before next season. Under the city's new priority system, leaders say more side roads were cleared, and they say communication improved. DPW says crews worked 90,000 hours plus another 52,000 of overtime, but they say there's still room to improve. One change already in the works is upgrading the SnowForce viewer so plows can be tracked in real time.
You know, some folks may feel that the streets were missed, but there might have been reasons. For me in my district, Center Township, we have narrow streets. There was parking on both sides of the street.
Of course, financing is always an issue. That's something that could be addressed in the spring when the city looks at where it overspends and underspends. Service dogs in training with the Indiana Canine Assistant Network are out spreading the love, and it's all a part of their annual Puppy Love fundraiser. Today, volunteers are going to be handing out Valentine's gift boxes across Marion County and the surrounding areas as well. Each box was bought by supporters and filled with goodies from local businesses, all to support ICANN's mission to help provide service dogs for children, adults, and veterans with disabilities. The organizations also give former incarcerated folks a second chance by letting them raise and train the dogs. This is a sweet reminder this Valentine's Day that a small act of kindness can make a life-changing difference for the people who get these service dogs and for the pups learning how to serve them. 2026 Winter Olympic champs are going to have to wait a little longer for their new bling. Still ahead here at midday, what organizers say is causing problems in production and making those medals break. Yikes.
Not a good thing here. Weather is a great thing. We've got sunshine today in the 50s and even warmer when we could near 70 degrees in the 7-day.
And the governor of Minnesota praising citizens there for their resilience as ICE agents head out of that state. What state leaders have to say about the damage left behind next.